Welcome to the MedeXN Fitness Institute podcast. Today I have Lisa Tsakos, a registered holistic nutritionist who is the co-author of the Natural Nutrition Coach program that MedeXN has just released. And we wanted to explain a little bit more about what it is and how it got started. So welcome, Lisa. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Lynn. It's great to see you. How's it going?
Good, thanks. Yeah, so maybe we'll just start off with you explaining how you got into natural nutrition.
Yeah, well, I grew up obsessing about my weight almost my entire life since I was about 7 or 8 years old. And I don't know if you remember back in the day, the 20-minute workouts that were on TV several times a day, and I'd get up and do all those workouts. And because I was really interested in how my body responded to the food that I was eating, I started reading and did a lot of reading. But like a lot of us, I became kind of interested in more the number side of things, like calories and fat grams and fiber. And you could put anything in front of me and I could tell you the calories in that food or the fat grams. And it wasn't working for me. As I got older and my hormones were changing throughout my teenage years and into my adulthood, I was just gaining weight. And ultimately, what I know now is that I was doing some damage to my metabolism. I was damaging my thyroid. I wasn't eating enough foods to nourish my thyroid. I was living off 600 calories a day and working out 2 or 3 hours a day sometimes. So it was just absolutely backfiring. And anyways, the more I delved into reading, I realized that I was heading in the wrong direction. And I came across some books about natural nutrition and whole foods eating, and they completely turned my life around. So I started enrolling in some courses to learn more about it. And then I ended up studying natural nutrition, and it was a complete game changer. Within a year, I lost 50 pounds. And then I actually had to gain weight, which was even harder than trying to lose weight because my metabolism was working so well by that time. And I felt amazing and energized, but it wasn't just the weight at all. It was everything. My skin was completely clear. The whites of my eyes were super bright. I woke up with so much vitality every single morning. My digestion I didn't know I could digest food that well, and elimination was like amazing. So all of that made me super passionate about food. And it was a switch from eating processed, low cal, low fat, all that processed food, packaged food that I was eating to whole foods, natural foods, a lot of organic. And then of course, as I started doing more research, I would read more about genetically modified organisms and additives that were put into our food. And you start to make connections between the food that you're eating and your own health, how your brain works, which foods and food combinations are best to eat for breakfast to make sure that you're focused and alert all day long. All those little symptoms that creep up every once in a while, I started linking them back to foods or combinations of foods or certain ingredients that were added to the food that I was eating. So it was a very, very interesting journey, and I just wanted to share my knowledge with anyone and everyone who would listen. And that's how I started teaching nutrition, and also how I came to put this program, or the nutrition component of the program, together.
Amazing. Yeah, I feel like that story is all too common, well, either with nutritionists or holistic nutritionists, and then fitness professionals as well, as they focus too much on the calories and the macros and end up damaging themselves more than actually helping themselves or their clients. So how long have you actually been in the nutrition field now?
Oh my goodness, professionally, since 1997. So
oh, wow.
Yeah, a long time.
You've got a few years on me. I've professionally, I graduated in 2016. And before that, I would say 5 years prior to, I was doing the same thing as you, reading as much as I could and trying to understand how food, nutrition, the environment, chemicals, all of those things affected our body and how well it functioned. So I feel like my story is very similar to yours. It's my health journey. I'm still on it, obviously, and still learning, but I definitely think there's a need to get that knowledge out there.
Yes, for sure. And because our bodies are always changing too. Now I'm entering a new stage of my life, and my hormones are starting to change, and I'm learning all over again. You know, everything that I knew doesn't necessarily apply now, and I know enough to educate others, but it's a whole different thing when it's happening to your own body, right? So
Absolutely.
it's a whole learning experience, and that's what I love about nutrition, is that, yeah, like, not only are you always learning about it for yourself and your own body and your family and your family's health, but the information that's coming at us from science right now is amazing. It's a burgeoning field, even though everybody's eaten since the beginning of time. The science behind nutrition, and especially natural nutrition, is a relatively new field, and we're just learning so much. It is so exciting, and it's the perfect time to get into a career like this.
100%. Yeah. So do you want to explain a little bit about who you and Heather created the course for and why they might want to take the program?
Well, when Heather first came to me about the course, she also has a nutrition background, but she has a fitness background. I am primarily nutrition, and then you're the business side of things. So when she first approached me, it was mostly designed for fitness people. So someone who has clients, they're coaching clients either as a personal trainer or some other capacity in the fitness industry or fitness field. But as we were creating the program, we realized that this applies to so many other people, so many other modalities. So an acupuncturist could take this, a naturopathic doctor could take this, because nutrition is the perfect adjunct to anything, any modality. A doctor should really take this, because doctors get such limited amount of nutrition training in med school. So anyone can take this program. And as we started sharing the information about the program with other people, we came across a lot of individuals who were not even in the health field, but they just wanted to take it for their own edification, for their own personal knowledge, because they had struggled with their diet, or they have family members that could really benefit from this information. So the program is pretty much for anybody who's interested in taking it. But if you are a professional in the health field and you want to expand your practice, so you want to add some nutrition knowledge, either as for additional income, or just because you know it would deepen your understanding of your own work, then it's a perfect fit for you.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. After looking through the course material, if I had known 5 years ago that there was going to be a program like this that was affordable, but still had high value and really good quality content, I think it's a great way to get people into nutrition and get interested in nutrition and actually see the benefits of it and how it can affect whether that's their practice or their fitness business and their clients' well-being overall in the long run. I think that's what gets me excited about the program as well, and feel really confident about, promoting it as well. Now, when somebody completes the program, do they receive a certification or recognition by any certifying bodies?
Oh yes, you receive a certificate upon completion of the course, and your certificate qualifies you for continuing education credits through various fitness organizations.
Right, which are listed on the MedeXN website. So anybody listening to this will either be on our website already and can check those out there, or navigate over to that. And I have I think two more questions for you. Can you tell me a little bit more about some of the subjects that you cover in the program?
Yeah, the program is divided into three separate components. The first component is the nutrition education part, and that's broken down into a number of different modules. And in the modules, you go through anything that's relevant to you as a practitioner, any information that you need to convey to your clients. So the first part, of course, is basic nutrition education. So the macros, understanding or trying to figure out how much of each macronutrient and micronutrient your client needs. And then you delve in. So you learn about healthy food preparation and identifying additives, food labeling, recognizing what the organic symbols mean, all that practical information. The third part is completely dedicated to digestion, because you are not just what you eat, you're what you digest and you're what you don't eliminate. So we cover all of that from start to finish, from the sight and the thought of food right through to elimination. And because research on the microbiome is just so intense right now, every day there's new information coming in about how the microbiome reflects on a part of the body or on a health condition. So we've got a whole separate component on that. Very, very exciting. And then the next part of the program is the coaching piece, which is what makes this particular program so unique. Because all other nutrition programs out there, they're going to talk about nutrition, but they don't actually teach you how to convey the information to your clients. So how to read their body language, how to know what to say when, how to assess whether or not your client is actually ready to receive the information, and how to help them reach their goals faster and more efficiently. And then the last part of the program is the business part, which is we give kudos and credit to you, Lynn, for putting that piece together. Would you like to talk about the business piece?
Sure, thank you. Before I get into the business piece, I just want to touch on the coaching part of the nutrition program, because myself as a consultant, when I first started out, I didn't realize how ill prepared I was for the coaching aspect that was going to be required to actually implement the nutrition schooling that I had taken. So I do think that having that coaching module in there is so important for anybody who's coming out of, any kind of nutrition program. And it's exactly what I teach in my business course. So the one that we've kind of collaborated on to include in this nutrition program is the Forever Free Essential Business Foundations course. And it's collaborated with over 11 holistic nutritionists, all speaking on various business topics such as your niche, how to start out, the mindset that you need to have as an entrepreneur, basic finances, and the basic foundations of everything that you need to get started in the business world as a holistic nutrition coach or a practitioner of some kind. So that's really where we took it. And the reason we included this, I think, in the program is really to make sure that the foundational pieces are all there for anybody coming out of the program, and to make sure that they are as successful as they possibly can and have the support that they need navigating this new world in their business.
And that is so important, because as a practitioner, I got into nutrition because I believe so passionately about it, and I wanted to share my knowledge with the world and help as many people as I possibly could. But I didn't really appreciate that nutrition is also a business. And that side of it, the money side of it, really hampered my success for a long time, because I didn't want to deal with that part of it. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't get much education on the business end of things. I didn't know how to do my accounting. I had trouble asking people for money, because I felt like this knowledge was just inside of me and I wanted to help. And I find over the years, I met a lot of practitioners who feel the same way. We want to be in this field because we love it, feel passionately about it, and we feel like it's our duty. But we don't really appreciate that if we don't respect the business side of this career, that we won't be able to continue doing it. So that was such an essential piece that was missing in my nutrition education. And I'm just so happy that it balances out our program in this way. I think it's just such a complete, well-rounded program. So you get everything you need to know to add this as an instant career to your existing business.
Yeah. And one other thing that I always mention too when I'm coaching is that many of us come out of a nutrition program thinking that we have to be a nutrition consultant or a nutrition coach. And maybe you're already a fitness professional, or you already are an acupuncturist, like you mentioned. These are people who could benefit from the program, but also learning how you don't have to just start a whole new business that is, related around nutrition. But we really focus on where the practitioner is at, where the coach is at, and learning how to integrate that into their passion and into the things that they're already doing, so that they can feel like they're really ready to take that step into business, right? Because that is one of the limiting factors, I think, for a lot of coaches and practitioners getting out into the field. So it is, I think, like you said, it's a very well-rounded program. It includes the nutrition component and then the coaching and then also the business. So there's really should be no questions at the end. And there's obviously continuous support from us as the authors as well. Well, I think that's good for today on the questions. We're looking forward to having a deep dive into the natural nutrition program with the other co-author, Heather, in the coming weeks. Is there anything, Lisa, that you want to leave the listeners with today?
Yeah, I just want to say that a big part of natural nutrition is eating mindfully. Everything that we eat makes up our cells and who we are physically, emotionally, mentally, etc. So as you're going to have your next meal, take a moment to consciously think about what this food is doing for you. Is it helping you or is it hurting you? And with that, I'm going to say goodbye. And thank you very much, Lynn, for your time today.
Thanks so much for being here. It was a pleasure.